Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic, and welcome to this very important Sunday night special report here with Janine Jean-Claude. You can find her at Tarot by Janine and also at Sending Ravens here on YouTube. Janine, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Jean-Claude. Hi, everybody.
You can find her surprise on Sunday. Hold on. Do you have another window open, Janine, or is it me?
Nope. Hi, Jean-Claude. Hi, everybody.
Wow. Hold on. Do you have another window open, Janine? Or is it me?
Nope.
Hold on, folks. Here we have a bit of a delay. Hold on. Do you have another window open, Janine? Or is it me? It's not on this side, Janine. Wait a second.
Hold on, folks. Here we have a bit of a delay. Hold on.
Okay. Let me see. Are we okay? What the hell is that?
That was totally weird.
Yeah, that was weird. This is weird. So I don't know if the audience heard this or not, but basically I heard my intro 5 times. It just kept looping and looping. So I'm like, okay, what just happened? Okay, everybody's saying echo, echo. Okay, hopefully we're back. Guys, give us a 5x5 now if everything sounds okay. It looks okay here now. That was just really weird. All right, let me see. Just waiting to see it from the comments here. Yes, funny, Linda Gallagher. Okay, 5x5, anybody? Yes, sir. Okay, so first 5x5. Okay, so we're back. All right. So welcome, everyone. Okay, Janine, how was your weekend? How's everything going with you?
A little sad.
Oh,
sad. Just some weird. People don't want to come visit me, probably because of my politics. Kind of weird. Old friends in town. Haven't seen them for years. Sneak out of not wanting to see me. It just felt really like it's of my politics that was going on. So anyway, I'm getting over it, but yeah it's ouchy.
Yeah, it stings. That hurts. Yeah. And I know a lot of people in the audience are probably, oh yeah, that's been happening to me too lately. I know, folks, this is weird times, and it's testing friendships, families, it's testing everything. What's hard though, like with some people, you can tell they're embarrassed, they're shy, but at least they'll kind of communicate to you what their issue is. It's the people who are just in your face with the lies, like that hurts even more. It's like, dude, just tell me to F off. Like it won't hurt as much as you pretending that it's something else when really it's, that thing. So I hear you, Janine. Oh my God. Okay. So everyone, big hug for Janine here. She needs a hug tonight. Yeah. All right. Virtual hug, everyone. Okay. Guys, Janine and I have been talking here in the last couple of days, and we're tracking quite a few elements here. And we decided to do this special broadcast for you guys on Sunday night and to kind of explain what we're seeing right now and why we're about to do a couple of changes on both our ends here on our channels. So we'll get to the changes here a little bit later in the show. But first, we want to set up what's prompting all of this. So, well, first, thank you for joining us here on Sunday night, guys. Really appreciate it. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. But Janine, I think this started with me and with you here a couple of weeks ago. Cliff High had sent out a personal message to a couple of us who are on this side of the fence here, broadcasting and trying to be a light here in this weird darkness that we find ourselves in. And basically, his WebBot data was picking up the fact that very soon, and we don't have a time frame, we could get to a point where we could not use the payment processing services here, and that there might be some issues with the banking system as well. And so he's saying, hey, guys, if there's things that you can do to change a little bit the way you're doing things, maybe now's the time to think about that. So that got me thinking, on one hand, okay, yes, there's some issues. I've been seeing this also in our support emails in the last couple of weeks. People are saying, hey, suddenly PayPal's not accepting my credit card. I'm in this country. What's happening? So we're seeing a little bit of cracks here and there, but we haven't seen the major cracks yet as to what Cliff is seeing, I think, in his data. So that's a little bit worrisome for the audience here who week after week go into our pay-per-view and try to purchase our episodes. And so we wanted to address that here tonight. Also, Janine and I are looking at the events and the acceleration here of the news cycle. And we are realizing that we're demanding to do more and more and more. There's more and more work for us to do, yet there's not more time on our schedule to do that. So we were looking at each other and saying, okay, how do we maximize our efforts here, not only to reach as many people as possible, but to also cover all of the topics that you guys, the audience, want us to cover. So those are basically the two angles for the discussion tonight. But let's go back on this banking thing. We've heard for a while now, and you and I have reported in the last show, 6 of the major banks here were sounding the red alert just the other day here. So there's something happening. Of course, I just did my series on the death of the petrodollar. We all know, you and I have been talking about this for a while, that there's going to be a change up here, perhaps very soon now, in the financial system. So let's talk about, Janine, to the audience here, what you and I pulled cards on privately on Friday and Saturday, I believe it was, in terms of what that looks like and perhaps how long those dislocations may last. Because I think the audience, for them as well, as they plan their purchases and what they need for their preps and all that, they need to understand here where some of those issues might be.
Okay, I'm going to pull again. Just, you got to keep up to date on these things. So let's just see what we get.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll need a strategy, absolutely, going forward. There's going to be hiccups. Now, at least it's a 5, not a major arcana. Remember what I always say about 5s. They're short-lived setbacks and hurdles. So short-lived setbacks and hurdles are not that bad. We're right upon it. So within probably days or weeks, you should already start to see the hiccups.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how long it lasts. So it's not going to last long.
Okay.
It's definitely not going to last.
In the last reading, you had the 8, I believe. So we thought maybe up to 8 weeks, not more than that. And I think
days too, because 8 of Swords, I remember, could be 4 weeks.
Okay.
Weeks could be on the outside, because now it's looking like shorter.
Okay. Okay, that's very good. Now, so let's get to, I'm trying to remember Cliff's email here and what our conversations were with our friends. They were talking about the fact that for some of us who are out here also, and you too, if you have money in PayPal, for example, and there's these dislocation or these changing of services, it might very well be that you can't access your funds for a period of time. It's not necessarily that, oh, they're going to abscond with your funds, but it could be a situation where for a couple of 8 days maybe, or up to 8 weeks, you can't access them as we're transitioning over to another system. Yeah. The other issue is with that, go ahead.
You'll be able to access them eventually, because this card is not final. It's just hiccups and setbacks. Okay. And then there's the question of, when you're available to access them, are they the same value they were when they got frozen, right? Because if we're going to be looking at a revaluation here, are you better off right now maybe taking some of your hard-earned money out of the system now, putting in the side, maybe gold, silver, or crypto, while you wait for this transition here, so you don't take a major haircut? I think this is what a lot of the analysts are saying right now. What can the cards tell us on that? Does that make sense? Yeah, it's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, that leads us into the discussion you and I were having also about the frequency and the volume of events that are happening right now. In the last 2 or 3 shows, you and I were struggling to finish the 1-hour show and to even get to the viewer questions, because there's so much happening at the same time. So let's talk about that. What are your feelings right now? And maybe what can the cards tell us as to what's to come? Is it going to get worse in the near future here, or is it going to get better in terms of... I know the answer, but let's just ask the card for the audience. My God. Okay. I have to laugh because some questions are just so obvious, but you never know. The cards might, surprise us.
Yeah. Yeah, like wading through the deep woo.
Yeah, deep
that
woo.
Is the confusing world. That's what we're doing right now. We're literally trying to make sense of something that's like we're in all new territory, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
As we go forward here. Yeah, no, it's absolutely just going to get thicker before it gets really clear, finally really clear, but it's going to get thicker first. So yeah.
Right. So Janine and I, looking into this here in the last couple of weeks, and especially in our last conversation this weekend, we both came to the conclusion that we needed to make some changes to our schedule. Some of them are harder to make than others because, you know, we all like what we do and the people we're with, but at the same time, it's not just about giving you what you want, but giving you what you need. And I think this is where Janine and I are trying to make some tough decisions here. So Janine, do you want to talk first about maybe some of the changes and some of the cuts maybe that you want to make on your side of the things for your schedule so that the audience know?
Yeah.
And I'll share some of mine here.
Yeah, so I had to step away from a few shows, but it was absolutely, so I know there's a big gossip wheel out there. Absolutely no hard feelings between anybody I stepped away from. It's literally just practicality. It's like all the things I'm doing sort of personally, and then just trying to go, okay, what do I think brings the most info? And I think Jean-Claude and I, what we do together really, really works. So
Right.
Say any of those other things don't work, because they do. So I just had to step away. So if you don't see me on as many shows, that's why. And it's because I was spreading pretty thin there. I was everywhere, and I loved all, and I will get back to all of those if they'll have me. But yeah, so we're just going to thin it out a little and focus on what I think, just for now, where we could get the most amount of info out there. And you and I don't know, we got a real good flow for just banging it out there.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you for saying that. And I think it's important, the message you just said, and I want to reiterate that too. In my conversations with Janine, it was very apparent also, and I trust Janine from the bottom of my heart, but when she was saying that she was stepping back from a few of her guest spots, it's not about the drama. It's not about the individuals. It's not about anything like that. It's just really right now focusing our time and trying to maximize our reach and our efforts. And we think that we have a winning show here on the Wednesday night. And so, okay, so first of all, I'm going to be doing the same thing on my channel. There's a few people that I'm going to either step back from completely, temporarily, or maybe do a little fewer shows a month than what I was doing on my previous schedule. So you'll also see changes on my schedule here moving forward. Now, on top of that, for the next couple of weeks, I'll also be trying to do less shows during the day. I'm caught here where all of the renovations that I had booked early in the year, because of all the delays and the COVIDs, they're all now happening at the same time. So I need to be here to watch over all of these people as they're messing around my house. So in the next couple of weeks here, I'll be trying to do less shows during the day. But of course, you know me, when things are absolutely critical and urgent, I will be coming up. Even if I just do a quick 15-minute update for you guys, I'll be doing that. Now, what we're going to add, this is what everybody wants to hear. So starting this week here, Janine and I will be doing 2 of our live shows per week. So the Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, the typical show is still on. And we're also now going to be adding the Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. Is that right, Janine? Is that what we did? Okay, very good. So let me bring up, we're probably going to do, hold on a second here. I'm trying to bring up this last slide. Where did you go? There you go. So this is our typical Wednesday poster, guys. So whether you're on Janine's channel or my channel, this is what you'll see coming up now twice a week, on the Monday and on the Wednesday show. Now, I have to say also, a big thank you to everyone who supports these shows. The PayPal tip jar is absolutely what keeps Janine and I going. And of course, now we're going to be adding to this. We think there's enough material and we want to make the effort to produce these for you. And we want to ask you to continue to be as generous as you are now as we start doing 2 shows a week here to try to get to all of this information that is coming at us here at a rapid speed. Now, talk about that a little bit, Janine, on your side of things, how you see this exchange of energy with the audience, because of course, they understand that we've been censored and we've had a lot of issues. We've had our Patreon terminated here a couple of months ago for the videos that we do for the audience here. What's your appreciation for the audience here with the PayPal tip jar, and how can you encourage them to understand that this is, of course, an exchange of energy between you and I and them, the audience? What can you say?
Yeah. So incredibly touched literally in my heart from all the generosity. And I get a lot of notes too. I get a lot of notes with money that comes in the tip jar, and both of us do. And how much love that comes through, even the comments, like coming right up with all the hearts. Like the exchange on the live shows is, I'm not very good at putting on live shows myself, so I'm really appreciating that Jean-Claude gives me this way to do it. And this way I get to connect. I love doing the personal questions. I know a lot of people get a little frustrated if we do too many personal questions, but I think they're really important because everybody watching is really important. They're why we're doing this. That's why we're doing this. So connecting personally with people and allowing me, I don't do personal readings during the day anymore. And I did for 35 years. So this is the little bit I get to still connect with personal people in the chats. So to me, it's like, good old days again. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. And it's so good that we even have this opportunity. So the whole thing is just, I think, a really good exchange for everybody.
Very good. Awesome. And I feel the same way. And thank you for saying that too, because running these lives and having all of these live comments and all the love that we have in the chat is one of the reasons why it's easier. It's not easy, but it's easier for me to step back from some of the other shows that I'm doing now to concentrate more on this one, because there is so much love here too. And I have to echo your statement about it's important to do those personal questions too from another angle. Not only are they our audience and we absolutely love them and respect them, but we also have in the audience members, those questions typically affect more than one people. So a lot of people resonate with the questioner and a lot of people resonate with the answer as well, because a lot of them are not self-serving questions. They're questions for their role, their mission. And so it makes sense in this community that we're building here. And especially now, as these energies are hitting us in the way that they are now, we need this collective kind of family together. And again, I'm excited about doing 2 shows a week for that also, to strengthen that community, even though they kind of delete it every once in a while here and we have to restart from scratch. There's probably a reason for that as well. So, and I remember, Janine, you pulled cards on this. I think it was my last channel deletion, where it was not so much what we were saying, but the community and how maybe they wanted to disperse everybody that was in the chat here, just in recognizing of how powerful they are. Do you want to talk to that a little bit?
Yeah. And there was a lot of divine feminine, apparently. Energetically, you were like really enforcing and or reinforcing, let's say, the divine feminine. So apparently a lot of what you were saying somehow empowered the divine feminine in all of us. So it's not just in women. And it's something that's sadly lacking on the earth plane, and something that the dark hats, dark occult, deep state, whatever you want to call it, all those names we could call it, but some of them we can't say. Right. Absolutely, they do not like that energy. So you better believe that came right from the top.
The bug, so to speak. This is like the empowered divine feminine, that's for sure. They've been working very hard for millennia to quash that energy. Okay, Janine, one last thing here too that was coming up in the WebBot data is this idea of a communications blackout. Now, from what I saw and what I understood from Cliff was that this blackout would be somehow engineered by the dark side in order to try to prevent, to slow down some of the information that is just about to come out now. And some of this, and just for the audience here, Cliff was very emotional the other day. He was almost crying when he was talking about it. The information that's just about to hit now is very, very difficult and will be extremely difficult for most humans to hear. And so we're seeing, and he's seeing in his data, that there's going to be an attempt here at a blackout of some sorts. To what level? The internet will be blacked out, radio, cell phone communications, all of these things. Cliff had a protocol on maybe how to create your own IP so that we can go around some of these blackout periods. Can you speak to that here too, and maybe pull some cards on to tell the audience here what they can expect during this blackout, and also not to worry, because it is going to be temporarily from what we see in the data as well.
Yeah, I have looked at that in the past, and what I've been getting is the next really big reveals are going to be about the children. And that might have been what he was feeling all emotional about.
Yes.
And
not just the children, but the magnitude of the industry supporting that. When people realize it's not just a few crazy, dirty old people doing these things in their basement. No. It's pervasive all the way down to your street level.
Yes.
You just don't know about it yet. And so that's going to be very, very difficult for a lot of people.
It's huge. And when Ashley and I did a deep dive and somebody asked, I forget, was it me or Ashley, but we asked the question, what percentage are somehow connected to this? We got 50%. So I don't know if we meant 50% of the elites or 50% of the world, but it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more than we thought. Let me just say that.
Mm-hmm. Well, just to make sure everybody understands, Shelly's saying, so no more free shows. No. We're saying we're doing more free shows. Yeah, you didn't get that right. So no, as opposed to just doing the Wednesdays here, we'll also be doing a Monday night live show as well. What Janine and I are saying is that we're cutting back on our other shows to do more of these here. And so, okay, just want to make sure everybody understands that. Okay, thank you, Shelly. Go ahead, Janine.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So we're asking like the blackout periods.
Mm-hmm.
You might experience 3 days in a row, and we might get rolling blackouts. I feel like where there's 3 days blacked out over here, but not the whole world's blacked out all at the same time. There's going to be rolling, and at the most, I'm looking at 3 days here in a row, which we can handle it.
Yeah.
And you might get, where now you're back online and then it goes out again for a few days. Like it's gonna be intermittent too. I'm thinking a couple of weeks of intermittent rolling, 3 days at a time, blackouts, various different places. Yeah.
That sounds exactly what Cliff was seeing in the data also. So there was a major chunk and then sporadic breakages here and there. So we're going to have to be dealing with that as we go forward. Now, on that note, what I was hoping to do and what Janine and I were hoping to do is also maybe help us stay a little bit more connected by supporting us here with this coupon code, Stay Connected. So this is a subsequent to the campaign we did for Janine's housewarming. In this same instance here, this 10% off on the annual Insider Access Pass will also give to Janine that same percentage that was usually being taken over by Patreon when we were on Patreon. So if you want to stay connected with us throughout maybe some of these blackouts as best we can, we can't promise that we'll be up 100% depending on where those issues are. But at least if you're already here and you're an Insider Access Pass members, you'll have access to all of these videos, even though maybe also those payment processors might have disruptions. So this is another way also to stay maybe a little bit ahead of the curve and stay connected here with this family. Now, just a quick note on the website also, my tech guys are working on including a Discord channel for all of the Insider Access Pass members so that all of you can stay and connect and chat with each other through Discord on the website as well. And we're days, maybe a week away from implementing that feature as well for all the Insider Access Pass members. Okay. Janine, for some good news, do we want to end on some good news a little bit here? I just posted this earlier tonight, and this is, of course, England here is dropping their vaccine passport plan. This is big news. What happened? We're not sure exactly. You can go and read this article, but let's talk about this here. We've been talking about this for a while, that eventually as it gets closer and closer, the rhetoric would be more scary and scary, and then suddenly it would kind of fall apart. Are we seeing that here with this news story?
I've been expecting it. And everybody's going to go. You guys, they're going to get dropped one by one like flies. None of it can hold. When push comes to shove, it's against your human rights all over the world. It's absurd. If you look at it, it's literally absurd. They can't hold it up. So it's all a scare tactic. They were just seeing how far they could push you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's good news. Oh, somebody was asking here, so what? No more pay-per-view shows? No. Okay, let me be clear. So we're doing more shows here live.
Pay-per-view shows, 2.
2 additional ones, right? Because we do 1 week pay-per-view already. So just to be clear, so let me bring that up to the audience here. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I should bring more visuals. I know a lot of you are visuals. So let's go back here to the pay-per-view page. Okay, but thank you for asking, because some other people were probably thinking the same thing. So no, Janine and I will continue this series here, of course. But let me scroll down so you guys can get to it here. There you go. These Tarot by Janines. We do 4 of those per month right now. That is absolutely guaranteed. Those are locked in for the Insider Access Pass members. And now on top of that, we are also going to produce 2 more pay-per-view shows. Again, if you're asking, if you're buying a la carte, yes, you can buy those 2 additional shows, but those 2 additionals will be free and included in the Insider Access Pass. And what Janine and I were thinking also, we're going to keep the same format for these 4 shows, the Genos Tarot by Janine Uncensored, but we're also going to produce 2 more that are more special event or special circumstance type of shows, just like we just did the Kim Gogan special show and the patent special. So we're probably going to use that format here moving forward again, as we look at these weird things that just pop up in our field that we don't know where to put and that are perhaps too dangerous to put on YouTube. And that's still the main reason why we put all this stuff here on our uncensored personal platform. Okay, I think we're all on the same page with everyone. So Janine, is there any maybe cards we can pull here? I know we wanted to do just a 20-minute clip here for the audience to let them know what's coming up here. But can we pull some cards to see maybe how to navigate this upcoming week? It appears that everything is frantic energy-wise, and a lot of people have been feeling it here also in the last couple of days. So what can we tell them?
So there's some other really big news coming from a really reliable source that feels like it's a great victory for truthers, 5D'ers, and just all of us like-minded type people. We're going to feel a great victory, and it'll look like the beginning of truly knowing what the heck, like the normies getting the goods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like not just us trying to tell them, but somebody really that everybody knows somehow, whoever this is. So this is a really reliable sort of somebody people trust, and could be a lawyer or has could be a politician, but if they are a politician, they're very well liked and respected, whoever this is. So the voice of is coming out, going to tell, bring out some really big news. And I have a feeling it's around the US situation with who really won what happened in November.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one as well.
That's what, and then it feels like somehow that feels like that's this week.
Wow. Yeah.
Some clarity around that for even the regular folks, not just, we already knew that a long time.
Right. Well, Cliff was saying too that we could maybe wake up 30% of the population here in one fell swoop. So either with that or maybe with the children thing, but it's going to be big. And you and I have been saying for months here, be compassionate to your friends and family who are going to have to wake up in this small, short period of time, whereas you and I have had all of this time to acclimatize to all of this. The people who are going to be hit now are going to be going through one hell of a rude awakening. Nikki is asking, what about more crypto woo shows? Yes. So in those 2 extra special pay-per-views that we're going to be producing a month, it could very well be that we're going to concentrate our time on also the financial system as we go into this changeover as well. So we're going to be flexible, and that's why we're opening up some slots here to be able to address that as it comes. Because again, there's so much happening so fast. And yes, Nikki, you're absolutely right. The financial part is a big part for the audience here. A lot of people are like, those are very popular shows, and perhaps once a month is going to be not enough here with all the changes and how quickly they are going to be happening. So we're going to stay flexible for that. If we need to produce more and or do special reports, absolutely we will. So thank you, Nikki. That was a great question. Okay. Thank you for sharing your gifts with the world. Janine and Jean-Claude, merci beaucoup. Okay. Do you have time maybe to take 1 or 2 questions from the audience? I see people in the PayPal tip jar already. So first of all, thank you so much, everyone, for supporting us there. Let's do 2. Okay, let me see if I can pick the first one here. Thank you for all you do. Okay, no question. Merci beaucoup, Charlotte. Suzette, please tell me now. Oh, this is very good. So yeah, please don't tell me what I want to hear, but what I need to hear. Okay, let me bring this up. This is beautiful. Okay, Suzette. Okay. And this is what we were saying earlier. This is why we're making these changes here on the show. She says, please, tell me not what I want to hear, but what I need to hear. Suzette, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Joan, thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Joan. Olga, hi. Will I be terminated due to not taking the thing? Olga Harper. Thank you, Olga. A lot of people are having that exact same question tonight, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So it'll look like you're about to, or you might even technically get terminated, but that will not last long. All of this is getting stepped back. It's all illegal and absolutely against human rights. So that's what it's going to look like you do. And then this happens. Everybody's freedom comes back. All of those companies are going to be facing being in a lot of trouble for what they're doing. We're going to win this, you guys. We're going to win this. This is the outcome card. This is a temporary setback. So if you do go all the way through and try all of the, how I agree with Cliff High, what he says. If you believe that's the case and your company's making noise towards making that a policy, okay, you go in and because don't forget, you have rights in a company. So go in there and already make a claim that you're in what is that called again?
Wrongful termination or harassment.
Work situation potential.
Yeah.
So go in and start the paperwork I'm feeling like this company is about to force me to do something against my human rights.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And my personal health information going to be exposed. It's not supposed to be. Okay. Remember that. Right. So start the paperwork and get ready to, and be ready to, because you're in a war, be ready. Don't walk though. Remember what Cliff says. They have to terminate you because they're all going to get sued. This is going to end badly for those companies, you guys.
Wow. Okay. And that's very nice. And also let me bring this up here as a piece of good news relating to that here. In a way, it's good news because it's going to force the hand here. Hospitals in New York City to stop delivering babies after staff resign instead of taking the you-know-what. The healthcare system is already stressed to the max now, and there's nobody to replace these people that they want to fire for not taking the thing. So at a certain point here, rubber meets the road and reality will hit, and there'll have to be some type of a rapprochement or exemption or something's happening here. And once that happens, that's going to be a snowball effect for all of the other industries, because once you have an exception for one thing, you can have all of these exceptions. And of course, the White House, was it today or yesterday? Where is she? Let me bring this down. Of course, they have an exemption for members of Congress and their staff. So come on.
Does that maybe wake some people up? Give me a break.
Right.
And don't forget the Matrix movie. So the new Matrix movie's coming out. Okay, what does that tell you? Our movie's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
We're all getting let in on, guess what? We've been in the Matrix. And now they're putting out probably a white hat version of the Matrix. It's going to be just brilliant. I just think it's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay, let's go see if I can get the next one up here. Where was the question? Is the Pope? Okay, let's do the first. That's a tough one for this show, but thank you for that tip. Let me see if I can get the next one here. Okay, this is a cool one. Let's see. There's a lot about Mount Shasta. I have an upcoming trip to Mount Shasta for a spiritual retreat. Do you have any insights about this trip? P.S. This is also a solo road trip from Laurel. Thank you, Laurel. Any insights for this spiritual retreat at Mount Shasta for Laurel?
Well, there might be delays. It's quite up in the air around whether you get to go just because of everything that's going on. So depending on when that is, if it's in the next couple of months, I'd say you might have to change the dates, maybe. Some things get changed, but temporarily again. 5s are temporary. There's going to be disruptions, and literally my feeling is the whole world takes a big step, and everybody, whether they like it or not, gets a little glimpse of where we're really going and not the absolute matrix they've been in. They get actually thrown out of the matrix is kind of the feeling I get, because they can't even be in it anymore because it's all breaking down. Okay. The bad guys, they paid off all of these, a whole bunch of their organizations paid off all of the doctors and staff that have been upholding all of the BS pretend stuff that's been going on around the
right.
illness, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And so all of that ends soon is the feeling I get, where they're out of money. They've paid everybody everything they had. They threw everything at this, and they got nothing left, and nobody's buying it anymore. The narrative's falling apart, and it's got cracks all over it. The white hats have battered them on the other side and outwitted them every move, and it's all going to come crashing down. And so some of these things you planned might go by the wayside, just because a whole bunch of things are going to happen. Financial crash, possibly a big weather situation or explosive type situation potential here in the next kind of sometime between now and before Canadian election, which is on the 20th. Yeah. Like, there's so many things just juggling in the air that things could end up getting put aside. And that's what this looks like. So you might have to reschedule it. So everybody be flexible with those things. But when you do get around to it, it is a deeply spiritual experience for you. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Very good. Well, thank you, Laurel, for that. And thank you, everyone, for the PayPal tip jar. You guys are amazing. Janine, let's end on this a positive note here. It's a little bit of a negative, but I'm going to twist it to the positive here. You and I, and quite a few other truthers, maybe in the last couple of weeks, suddenly there's a lot of negativity in our chats. There's a lot of new people who've never seen before, who have very negative comments, and so who are trolling us a little bit. So let's kill them with love here. What do you have to say to all of these people who are nipping at your heels and my heels here?
Yeah. You're actually nicer to them than I am. Yeah. I sometimes go troll right after them with my Scorpio moon. And a lot of my viewers, they know I do that on my channels. I'll put my version of what they just said just below it and whatever. But yeah, actually, I'm probably wasting my time because a lot of it's probably bots.
Yeah.
Not to take it personally if it's affecting you personally. And if you're reading it in the chat, just pass it by. Don't be, because it's likely bots. Mm-hmm. I also like to clean mine up. So if it's really nasty, they're getting tossed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And folks, you can help us out in this community as well. When you see these comments, you can address them yourselves. Help us, redirect the energy flow in the shows. And of course, also in the comments below. And talking about the comments below, I was just reached out from my friend Jason4 yesterday. Somebody else just fell victim to these imposters. Now, Janine and I and quite a few other YouTubers have imposters replying as if they are us in their channel and asking them for money to invest in these investments. Janine and I never do that. I've actually created a video a couple of times to talk about these imposters. So please, folks, don't step into those games. Janine and I will not communicate to you in such a way. They all do the same thing. They use a WhatsApp. They're asking people to call this WhatsApp number and then to invest money. My heart goes out to those who maybe unfortunately got trapped in that, and I really feel bad. And again, I can't delete them fast enough. Those are bots also. They keep coming up in our comment section. And of course, all I can do is say it in these videos and produce videos to warn you guys about these imposters in the chat. Yeah.
So, that's how it goes.
Yeah. Very frustrating, but a sign of the times here. So, all right. Janine, any last words before you want to go? Anything else that's popping up in your field here that we might have to address before we go?
I'm getting really close to being ready for that housewarming party.
Well, that's good news. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take everybody on a tour. We'll drink champagne together. Jean-Claude will have to be on the call. See if we can get Catherine on there.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
A couple others, whoever wants to come on. And we'll take everybody through a tour. And I likely, like, honestly, like, my friend circle's limited down to about 3. Not even kidding. You don't have to feel, I know I have thousands of beautiful followers that love me. So that's so makes up for it. But it is pretty funny. So I won't be inviting a lot of people over.
Yeah, I understand, but you'll have a big crowd of virtually.
I'll have a big crowd virtually. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll just be us and taking you around the house. Like, I love to decorate, so, but if you hate my decorating, don't tell me, please, because it'll hurt my feelings.
Yes, and we've had enough of that already.
No, hurt my feelings.
All right, folks. So just to recap, so 2 shows, 2 live streams a week here moving forward. So I'll post a little bit later tonight. You'll see the poster for tomorrow, Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern. And of course, we're also keeping the Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern time slot. And on top of that, we're adding 2 special pay-per-view episodes per month to what is already there established. And of course, if you guys want to stay connected with us, please do consider purchasing the annual pass here for the Insider Access Pass on BeyondMystic.net, and the coupon code for you guys that also contribute to Janine as a part 2 to this housewarming gift. The coupon code is Stay Connected in one word. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. This was our special update for Sunday evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern. Have a great night, everyone. Au revoir.